These 3 tools will help improve your shadowboxing. Let's get right into it. First thing we're gonna talk about today is resistance bands. Now, I will be honest, I am not a big fan of the resistance bands. A lot of injuries can happen, a lot of ways that this doesn't necessarily improve your boxing skills. Resistance bands come in all shapes and sizes, and typically if you're gonna want to improve shadow boxing, you would put the band behind the back and then work as so. Now, as you can hear and see already, the band causes me a little friction, and if I am not sweaty, it might snap and hurt a little bit. Now, when you shadow box, of course, you're gonna work on form, technique, you're gonna work on your conditioning and your overall boxing skills, but adding resistance on the way out and on the way back is gonna be a typical way to help improve your skills. Now, with me, I'm gonna be honest, I like using resistance bands for the core, the hips, the legs, and even the ankles, where you're gonna really generate power and force. Using a resistance band in this way behind the back, it limits you in some ways because you're not gonna get the retraction that you need, and you're also, again, not gonna get where the power comes from, your core and the legs. Just working your triceps, the shoulders, it's fun. It can be good for fitness. Second thing we got today is the egg weights. Now, these are a little nifty tool that were invented not that long ago, and they have a very dense metal, and they come between 2 to 5 pounds. They have a little ring loop where you can actually put your fingers in and then make a fist around the egg weight. I think these are a great tool in order to improve shadow boxing. You're gonna be able to make a fist. That's gonna be one of the essential parts about boxing, having training that is realistic to what you're doing. Now, they're not that heavy, right? These are 2 pounds, so you're gonna actually be able to work your conditioning of your shoulders, and you can still use your footwork, move around, and get a little fit. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I really like this a lot better than using a dumbbell or any kind of other resistance at the edge of the hand, where you're gonna be more susceptible to injury, right? So you can hurt the shoulders, you can hurt the back if you're not training properly, warming up, cooling down, and working with good form and good technique, which is why I'm always gonna recommend you work alongside a well-qualified coach. Now, resistance to shadow boxing, yes, it can help you get better, but you have to train well. You have to train smart, and you have to challenge yourself. This is one of my favorite resistance tools, again, because you can just do rounds and rounds of shadow boxing. The egg weights are great to travel with as well, although I will tell you, I had a funny story with TSA where they took my egg weights, confiscated my 5-pound ones. That's neither here nor there, but that's LAX. Anyway, I think that this is a great way to improve your shadow boxing. It's gonna challenge you a little bit. You can still work good technique, and then you can condition the shoulders. Let's get to the last one today. Last one, best one. We're gonna be using some 24-ounce boxing gloves. These are from Ring of Cage, and I gotta tell you, my hands are heavy. I already wanna drop my hands down here after sliding my hands into them. Now, this is gonna be, I think, the most practical way to improve your skills because, well, when we box, we use gloves. So just using a heavier set, right? 20s and 24s are not gonna only help improve your speed, your timing, your conditioning, but they'll make you a much faster fighter when you take these gloves off and you start using lighter gloves. Trust me, you will see the speed difference when you go from shadow boxing with 24-ounce gloves to shadow boxing with 12s or 14s, or maybe even 10s. I see you out there training with 10-ounce gloves. Hey, I ain't mad at it at all. Now, it can improve you, of course, by you consistently training well. Using heavier gloves, which I will say, they are harder to find nowadays, but if you can get your hands on a pair of 20s, 24s, woo, highly recommend using them, not just for shadow boxing, but also for bag work, sparring, and mitt work. I'm a big fan of using heavier gloves. And a matter of fact, when I started my amateur boxing career, I think I only trained in 18s and 20s. I gotta be honest, the heavy gloves, they condition you and they tire you out fast. I definitely do a lot less rounds when I'm working with heavy gloves
than what I do with lighter ones.
And there you have it, 3 tools that may or may not improve your shadowboxing and your overall boxing skills. If you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications so you'll be the first to know when we drop videos just like this one. Again, my name is Coach PJ, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Peace and love.
This is FightCamp, an interactive training camp from the comfort of your own home. Tutorials and guided paths walk you step by step through the basics and sharpen your technique over time. Punch tracking technology and leaderboards provide you built-in motivation to help you hit your goals. Learn more at FightCamp.com.
Workout, and I don't expect you to be going non-stop.